I need you to do is now take this, reopen the application, you'll also plug your HDMI in. Where's HDMI? Quickly. And then we're good to go. You're gonna need to reopen your face.
Morne just went to look for that 2-pin plug just to plug your mic in.
But can we just check this? Just loading it. You're gonna need to reopen your face. You sure I'm getting audio?
Morne just went to look for that 2-pin plug just to plug your mic in.
But can we just check this? There we go. Just loading it. You getting me? Just make sure your audio out is currently set to HDMI as well. You're gonna need to reopen your face. You sure I'm getting audio? Jesus Christ.
Morne just went
The audio is coming from you.
Just went to look for that 2-pin plug just to plug your mic in.
But can we just check?
Oh, yeah.
What audio?
Yeah, we got audio in the stream.
So connect the microphone.
Yeah, and then we're just going to connect the 2-pin from the 2-pin. But it's
Everything else working?
yeah, everything is working. What is coming through?
The RCD jack adapter was on.
It's getting the audio. It's got the audio. Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Is it just flashing red or is it red, green, red, green? It's muted. Change the channel. I changed the channel. Just check if there's an echo on it. I'm gonna do that now. Yes. I'm awake.
And everybody else watching. It's time. Should have been streaming already.
It is streaming. Are you not seeing this?
I might need to just refresh. So this is.
Just hold it once. When it flashes green, it's on.
Okay, there you go. That's up. Live stream's working. We're getting sound through the live stream.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to check everything now. My phone for some reason isn't loading.
Hmm?
The phone doesn't reach farther to the other side.
They're coming in like now. Everything else is done. Live stream's got audio, so we're just going to use the mics. We're going to just set up yesterday. No reverbs. Let's take the reverbs off the phone. Yeah. You just grab them there.
Yeah, there
Very
you go.
careful. Yes, it's in here.
Okay, should have cool.
Perfect.
Very good.
Thank you. So unfortunately, when we were testing yesterday, the church came. What?
Wow,
Church.
there's a massive delay.
No, it's a 30-second delay. That's on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you just turn up your audio there. Good audio. Live stream's up. Audio's up. Skype's
Okay,
ready.
it's picking up, and you're picking up from that mic.
Check. That's YouTube.
Okay, Jared. Jared. This conversation is being picked up there.
Cool, guy. Perfect. Cool. This young lady is going to be my host.
Hi, how are you? Feeling a lot better now.
Yes.
Okay, we're just getting this microphone linked up to the system. So getting this microphone linked up to the system. So everyone's coming in. I'd like to actually go 10 seconds. Tea break. I've tested it halfway.
Are those fine?
That's fine.
Yes, I don't want to.
Once you walk around the front,
Should I just pick it up and give it to
there's other mics on the table. Okay, so you one mic pass around.
We're going to have this mic linked up. There's two mics.
You want to stand here?
Anything's fine.
They just
Whatever
need,
makes you happy.
they need to pass it.
If you are confident.
We don't need like a box or something to stand up.
But now listen here. We got question. Karen requested.
Okay. So I dedicate them to Skype.
So you're going to keep the one here then, and that's what we're going to hand off to Fred.
just got back 2 minutes ago.
Is the lining not working? I'm going to have to just drop away from the
All the videos played through today.
Yeah, but not now after I reopened it.
That should be fine.
They'll just start from the beginning when you go to that system.
Your microphone, good to know what microphone you can use. Yeah.
Ask your friend, there's a box. Please dress up all you guys quickly. Tell your boss in there. Please just if you can remove it.
Are we all good?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go take the seat there. Pretty simple.
Yes, when things happen.
It's a go-to.
So what's that doing? Is it like recording? What's happening right now?
This is recording, obviously it's going to play on the screen, and then I'm also going to cut between. So, yeah, so. And then when he cuts, when this one cuts to the video, this one cuts to the video. Backwards and forwards. What's wrong?
Being concerned.
1K. 1K. Guy needs to get in now, so we have both microphones.
Otherwise, worst case scenario is it's a small room.
Yeah, I think it's as long as the answers are.
Yeah, either or.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Haven't got any microphones now. Just the one across the table.
That's fine.
Going on one. It's the mic. Press forward. start in 2 minutes. Huh? Do like a, yeah. Start in 2 minutes.
Okay, guys, so we're starting in 2 minutes. Okay. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining us. We have some exciting news for everyone today. My name is Kay Naomi, and if you don't know me, I'm a sports and entertainment presenter, and I will be one of your co-hosts for Last Fighter Standing. So, what is Last Fighter Standing? Can I just say something? It is the first fighting platform, not just in South Africa, but also in the world. Can we just clap for that? Sorry. This sport is so different because it incorporates different fighting styles. The winner gets over 1 million rand. I think I'm about to quit my job and try it out. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Yes, no?
I don't think there's a power category yet.
Oh, is it? But
Next year.
can I say something? Ladies have just the same equal opportunity to become the last fighter standing. So it's not just about the males, it's about males and females. And I think that is one of the best highlights about this new project. So enough with the chit chat from me. I'd like to introduce to you our panel today. We have Mr. Quentin van der Berg, who is the CEO of Last Fighter Standing. We have Mr. Darius, who is the Last Fighter Standing spokesperson. And then we have Mr. Michael, who's the creative director for the reality show. And then we have Mario, who's the chairman of the Martial Arts South African Pro Commission. And last but not least, Mr. Moyefe, who is the ETV representative. And let's just get a few words from him.
Afternoon. Yeah, exciting news for obviously LFS in South Africa. I'm the CEO of LFS, and this project's been going on for about 2 years now. Darius and his team presented to me in recent days. Something that I definitely want to get my teeth stuck into, as you guys know, I like growing things and big things. I definitely think we can take this internationally. So, with all the support from South Africa, we greatly need it. And presenting the best of the best martial arts that South Africa can give. And I definitely think that we're going to give you guys a show. It's nothing less than a big commercial show from a dome perspective, where they're tied down, and some latecomers. Yeah, so from me, I'm just thanking everybody for being here today and thanking all the support we're going to be getting from South Africa. And I'm going to pass it over to Darius just to explain to you guys a little bit more about what Last Fighter Standing is from a martial arts perspective. Yeah, thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. I would also like to personally to start thanking Quentin for giving Last Fighter Standing a fighting chance in the global arena. Another competition is fierce out there. Industry is territorial, and in a nutshell, what Last Fighter Standing is about is to break the territorial mentality and unite martial arts under one umbrella. Our rules and production element are designed around two important factors. One is the inclusion of all fighting styles. Second one is the production element to make sure the spectators and the fans are entertained right throughout. And for the first time ever, we're the first platform to give equal opportunities to men as to women. So we personally believe, and many will agree with me, girls can be as good, if not better, at many things than the guys. And they can certainly set new standards. A couple of big names out there like Ronda Rousey, who has definitely set a new standard in the world of fighting. So what we're trying to create a new fan base and female participation, set new icons, and through that empower girls as fighters and also to empower ladies who are following them. So in a nutshell, we are a all-styles professional platform that also has a division for super amps, which is a development division. First time ever, we actually opened a bridge between pro amps. You have an opportunity to go into a pro world of fighting, and for the first time ever, we'll also see there's been a lot of talk about what is the dominant style. So in boxing, if a kickboxer going to boxing ring, he's going to get beaten because it's a boxing arena. In MMA fighter is going to win, or grappler for that matter, because a strong element of MMA is grappling. You know, if you enter kickboxing tournament as a boxer, you have no chance. So last fighter standing for the first time ever in the world, you will see all fighting disciplines competing, and we're going to find a champion of champions, which is the equality-driven element of last fighter standing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Darius. Explain a little bit of the production side. As you guys all know, we have a reality show attached to this, 13-part episode with a 2-hour live broadcast on E. We also, obviously to the left of me is Michael, who's handling the production. I'll pass it over to him just to explain a little bit of what you can expect from this reality show. Thank you.
Thanks, Quinton. All right, so good morning. I get to do the fun stuff, and that is to get fighters pissed off with me, to be quite frank with you. So, all of you guys looking over here, I'm quite old, so please don't start with me. The basis of what we're doing is twofold. One is we always need to respect the integrity of the fighting discipline. It's quite important that that is a key component of what we present. But then we're also looking for the smackdown. We want the smack talk. We're going to look for the colorful characters. The intention of the reality show is how do we follow a fighter, fighters, trainers, family, mothers, uncles, aunts, twice removed cousins, and see just what kind of life it is about being in this world. Because for us who watch it on television, our perception is, wow, these guys get in the ring, beat the crap out of each other, and it's done. We don't understand how many years it's taken to get there. What pain, what suffering. So we're looking for human drama, and attached to human drama, we're looking at the fun, because let's be fair, some fighters are vain. We know that. I didn't point you out, so none of you. And vanity plays a key role, because people want to get into that, but then to the flip side of that is, there's the guy that's had to fight himself off the street. So, huge emotional attachments. There's some really fantastic things, and hopefully we're going to educate people, as I am being educated along the journey now, just what the difference is. Because we think MMA represents all fighting styles. I've learned now it doesn't. Highly entertaining, a fantastic production crew. We've got some of the top people working with us. You're going to see some unusual camera work. And we're going to go live in these people's homes for a few days and just see what they are about. But more importantly, huge production, 2-hour live at the Ticket Pro Dome on the 15th of October. And the intention is we want to ramp it up to the point that you will see just the net effect of a journey of a fighter from the first day right through to the finals. So, okay, looking forward to it. Any questions? You can ask us afterwards. Thank you. To my left is Malefi from ETV. Maybe you just want to give us your standpoint. How fantastic you are. Welcome, Malefi.
You are. Good morning, everyone. As ETV, we are extremely proud to have this kind of show on our platform of ETV. ETV is known for their innovative and very entertaining dramas, soapies, telenovelas, reality shows. And Last Fighter Standing encompasses almost all of these kind of elements that you need in a show. We're very happy that Michael and Quentin decided and chose ATV to showcase a show like this, because there's nothing like it on television. And we're so excited to be part of the experience that we birthed the show and we should give it live. So we're so excited that this show will be coming on the channel, and we'll see what happens, and everyone will tune in and actually watch and support and see all the great fighting that takes place. We'll be educated through the different martial arts disciplines and that should come through. But also, as Mike said, in terms of the stories, the human stories that actually we see from these individuals, men and women who fight their way and become the best fighters in the country. So as a channel, we're extremely proud extremely happy with something like that would be on our channel. Thank you.
Thank you for the support. We really appreciate it. Guys, we obviously are a fight platform and we want to bring entertainment to you guys, but just remember there's so much more to this that we're going to be showing you guys. That's why you need to tune in and watch. Okay, so to my right is Mario. I'd like him to just touch a little bit on what his perspective of this fight platform brings to them. And over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Clinton. Morning, everyone. Well, Martial Arts South Africa is a member of SASCOC. So we the authority that regulate and try and regulate not just what currently is happening, but looking for new opportunities for the development of fighters and athletes. My personal find is always that a professional fighter and being a retired fighter, that our fighters in the combat sports can get the same showcasing that other sport athletes get in South Africa. That's really my personal find. So without mentioning names or sports and pointing fingers, we all know what I'm saying. The main thing here is LFS is another opportunity to do that, to bring and develop the standards of fighting, but most of it, the standards of the viewing, the showcasing of athletes, martial arts athletes in South Africa, as a sport, but also as a professional career. So as such, you heard Quinton say it's taken just about 2 years to get here. The nice thing and the unique thing about LFS, it is a multiple code martial arts arena. It's not a single code martial arts arena. It's fed in from MMA, it's fed in from kickboxing, and from Muay Thai in South Africa. So it took some time to be able to adjudicate, get rules that worked, go back to the drawing board, relook at it again, until we got to the final scope, which is now where you have a fair arena for all contestants to be judged, to perform, but also to be showcased again in a perfect and ideal scenario that will only showcase our country, really. So thank you, Quinton, for buying into this. There is your passion. You're the heart of this organization, of this platform. So truly, with the professionals for media and so forth, we're in good hands. Thank you.
I'd like to touch on the prize money for a minute. We touched on it earlier. Not R1 million per person. So basically, guys, we have about 90 to 100,000 rand for preliminaries, which is the regionals, and we have a total prize money of 1.4 million. We'll obviously be announcing close to the time how that splits up, but it is one of the largest prize money South Africa has ever seen in fighting, and we're looking to up those standards year on year. Also looking to the international side right now. We are developing a dual platform in America, and really where we see ourselves fitting in from an African championships is taking the best of the best fighters from South Africa in all forms of mixed martial arts into the international territories. So the ideal goal here is to have an international LFS and to have an international standard winner for all mixed martial arts in the world, which is going to be something founded out of South Africa. So thank you very much for that. Also like to touch on the sponsors for a minute. We obviously along this road has been a little bit of quick access for what we had to achieve in a very short period of time. Generosity Water, which is something that is really a passion project of mine. It's a charity founded 7 years ago out of LA. We have a water brand that we've launched recently in the USA and in Australia, coming to South Africa soon as well. So where we see ourselves is the Red Bull of water. We're looking to achieve all sort of action sports, really achieve the sports recreational sector. And obviously there's lots of different facets to this brand that you can research along the way. I'm not going to bore you with the details today, but it is something that's is going to be highlighted in sports more in South Africa. We also have my brand, Contractual Investments, who is obviously backing this project. And we're obviously looking forward to seeing what the results will be for the sponsors coming down the line. We are talking to some larger corporations as we stand right now, and surely those will be successions within the next 2 months. So thank you, guys. I think we're going to adjourn just for a minute,
and we can then come back and discuss further details.
Before that, we have a short teaser.
Yes,
This
that's
is what you
it.
should be excited for.
Okay.
Before we take a short tea break, we have a lot of time for Q&A, so you guys are welcome to ask the great team behind LFS any questions right now.
Please don't make us such a lucky on a fishbowl. Please ask me anything. I mean, ask me what the weather's like tomorrow, but don't sit here scared.
There's a question.
To Mr. Mike Bender, I believe there's an international flavor with an international character who might be joining us on the show. Can you?
Well, I'm not prepared to elaborate. You obviously have some inside information and you're actually very naughty right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Farrell from Red Cherry Music Production Company that we've appointed to handle this. But it's a very good question. I think Quentin and the team here, all I can say is you may be in for a surprise in the next kind of half an hour. Somebody else asked the question, sir.
So just looking at and getting a bit of research done just before the whole day today. You guys are obviously part of the greater WCLFS setup. Okay, if you look at how that thing unpacks, it's a whole regional sort of park tournament which culminates in an African champion. But then when you look at the global setup, it's actually got South Africa competing against the Welsh champion. So just looking at sort of the maps and how that rolls out, it's a little bit confusing as to how the South African team is actually going to play off, especially when the South African champion is meant to be competing against the Niger champion for the African championship. And then at the world stage, the South African champion is going to be competing against the Welsh champion. So off the face of it, very, very confusing. So if you could just give a little bit more clarity on how that process is going to work.
I would not like to go into too much detail regarding our long-term goal, but in a nutshell, what we've created is the first ever world championship of professional martial arts in the world, uniting all styles in all countries. We're starting here. This is proudly South African brand, last understanding. We're starting to identify national champions. We're going to be doing that globally, identifying national champions around the world. The beautiful thing about our platform, one of many, is that we are not a matchmaking company. That creates politics, and I'm sure you're not very about it. With us, it is elimination structure rather. Our slogan for the fighters, you fight your destiny. You keep fighting, you keep progressing. You become South African champion. You will be representing South Africa on the global arena in a number of content championships, such as Four Nations, Five Nations. I'm not going to go into detail, like I say. And our second exercise from a South African championship, where we can establish an African champion, and we have the same concept designed for every continent. So we'll be African champion, European champion, and so on and so forth, the 5 continents. Yes. So to answer your question, we do not do matchmaking. Once we're ready for World Championship, and that's going to be 64 countries championship, at a later stage, depends on how fast brand develops. South African champion at that time will be put against 63 other national champions from around the world. That answers it. So that's our long-term plan for the World Championship.
Just from a rule set point of view, it looks like a mix between MMA, K1, and a few other tournament-style rules, similar to like a pride fighting elimination tournament. What is the rule set for martial arts then, in terms of stand-up, ground, that kind of thing?
Very good question, and it's very important that everyone understands. Thank you very much. Very, very important question. So, what is last practice standing? We're not MMA, we're not kickboxing, we're not boxing. our rules adjusted to suit equally all fighting disciplines. To summarize this, currently kickboxing wants to compete in other platforms such as MMA. Kickboxing is to lose a lot of ground to gain, and that's not kickboxing's passion. We believe in highlighting cultures of every martial arts and educating general public on those cultures to create development and bridging the two communities. Martial arts stand for three core fundamental principles, which are respect, honor, and discipline. And in order to highlight that, we need to highlight an individual culture. Coming back to your question, with us it's only 20 seconds on the ground. So a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist, when he takes his opponent down, he has 20 seconds to work with him. However, kickboxer now has 20 seconds to survive it, instead of learning how to be grappling. And therefore, we promote boxer to do his thing, Thai fighter to do his thing. And, I see fighters not just as fighters. Fighting part is a very small element of a martial artist. And to you guys out there who are fighting at our event and going forward, please understand you are a brand representative. You've got to know your culture, you've got to showcase your culture. Why? Because I believe each one of you, and I come from your background, we're all proud martial artists who love our art. So you are there to represent your style. So once again, our rules are 20 seconds on the ground. It's 2 3-minute rounds. And this year we're doing 8-man elimination structure.
Any more questions?
Sorry, Darius, just to come back to the 20-second rule. When will they stand them up after 20 seconds? What if there's a ground and pound busy time? Will they still stop them?
So from our side, entertainment, Mike and I are an opposing team. He wants glamour, he wants show, and I'm the handbrake that keeps saying we can't do that. You can't take a guy there, you can't do that, you can't do that. But at the same time, to maintain it fair for MMA fighters coming in, and that they have exposure in the game, for kickboxers, which are mainly solely strikers, and then for the Thai guys, the Muay Thai guys, who can clinch and can knee and elbow and so forth. So there's 2 rules in the rule book, going to your question about rules. 5-second rule, 20-second rule. Why? 5-second rule is to keep the Muay Thai fighter from locking in his opponent in a Thai clinch, and then knee him around and panel beat him around the ring for the whole round. And that can happen if you've got a good Muay Thai fighter in your hands and opposing you. MMA guy, he's got 20 seconds to do something. If he's really an expert, trust me, if you've gone down with an expert, it's like leading the blind. He will lead you to the corner that he wants to take you. And he'll quickly put you in a submission. If it is ground and pound, and he hasn't been able to TKO him or knock him out, so the guy hasn't qualified for a count from the ref, and he's still awake and defending, back up. And that's where I give it back to Mike, and entertainment is still there. And it doesn't become tedious on the ground, and we come back up and the show continues. But very importantly, safety is really important because we're mixing two athletes. Why are we doing that? Well, very much, if you're in the sport, you understand that there are amateurs with fantastic talent. Their talent outrages some professionals, but they've never been given the opportunity. Why? Politics, monopolies, knowing who, and so forth. Not only how much you know, it's really the opportunities you've been given. So, I want to break that law. We want to break that law. LFS is going to create an opportunity to break that monopoly. What's the other? You've got professionals that are in the game and are just in the gallows. They're not being given opportunities. Once again, politics, monopolies, blocking of games. So LFS is going to give, this is about identifying, this is what attracts me personally. And I'm passionate about it. I'm the official of this, so I've got to keep it official. But at the end of the day, I'm passionate about it as a martial artist because I can see and look forward to seeing and witnessing the identification of new talent, new icons, making those guys that are going to be, guys and girls that are going to be showcased on our TV screen, bringing not only martial arts but their own names, and given that, you know, taking them seriously in the sport that they've chosen to do. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it doesn't. Sorry. Just in terms of the rule set that's going to be used to determine if the fight goes the full distance, is it going to be similar to an MMA where it's literally based on who wins the rounds, or is it going to be based on striking, points per strike, etc., effective striking, effective control?
Thank you for breaking it down. That makes it easier to answer. We're going to use point clickers. Number one, there's going to be 4 judges because you're looking at a hexagonal ring. You're going to have one chief judge. There will be no draws because of that chief judge because you've got an odd number. It will be scored on points, and we're going for a 10-9 system. No 10-8, no 10-7, 10-9. So if you have one, if blue scores 23 points, striking, whatever he scores points in, each and every single technique, a good takedown, a clean sweep scores 1 point. A head kick. Just hang on one second, please. A head kick scores 1 point. Knee scores 1 point. Elbow scores 1 point. Everything scores 1 point.
So you said there was 4 judges?
Yes. 4 ringside judges.
Yes. How's this one going to work? When do you actually get appointed? When all 4 judges score their points same time? Because you said it's a clicker system.
Yeah.
3 out of the 4 judges, do they have to score their
5. 5 out of the 5 judges. So
Yes.
4 ringside judges,
Yeah.
1 chief judge.
Okay.
There will be 5 pairs of clickers. Counting, scoring. At the end of, and going back to your question, each round will bring in a score. Will be tallied up if the fight goes that far to the final round, which will then give you the 10-9 system. And you'll get blue corner winning or red corner winning. Simple.
So that you'll only register a point once all 5 judges see that punch.
No, not at all. Each judge will score accordingly.
Individually.
Yes. So now you've got a judge, and I'm going to explain to you why. You've got a judge that is now, because these judges are coming out of from
That's
3 blocks. They're coming from MMA, they're coming from kickboxing, from Muay Thai. Correct. So to neutralize that, and that there is no biased and unfair judging, you know, you see faces, you don't see hearts. So what do? That's why the chief judge is there. At this present point, the chief judge is going to be me at the first one, because it's the ultimate fairness. I'm not, even though I come from a Muay Thai background, my main aim is support and development of martial arts in South Africa. So with that, you quickly pick up. I mean, if you've got 3 judges scoring 23-9, 23-9, 23-14, that's acceptable. Then you've got 1 judge scoring 14-2. You pick it up. You've got another judge scoring 36-23. There's your problem, both those problems. Replace those judges to reserve judges. Done. Quickly. Within round, you do it. Well,
Just one more question, just with regard to the stoppages. 5 minutes. So for a referee stoppage, bearing in mind to bring all the various sports together. Boxing, it's a count out. For example, MMA, it's simply, you can see that that guy is now gone, and the ref jumps in. How is LFS going to, especially in that 20 seconds, ground and pound situation, something can happen there. Is it a ref stoppage that he jumps in and it's literally called a TKO?
Referees king of the ring. He stops the fight. Very importantly, that's one of the key elements to train and educate the referee. The referee will call the fight. If he sees the fighter not responding, he's going to call the fight. Very much so. You'll give, I want to elaborate on the count. There will be a mandatory 3-count rule. Why? And it won't be subject to 1 round. So a fighter could get, for example, in kickboxing or developing amateur sports, contact sports, a 3-count rule per round. So in other words, if he gets counted out 3 times in a round, it's over, fight's over. But if he gets counted out twice in 1 round, he survives that, then he goes into the next round. Doesn't mean he's able to fight, but he's in the next round. So he could get counted out another 2 times. You understand what I'm saying? And by the time he's in the 3rd round, he's suffered a penalty. So it's a mandatory 3-count rule throughout the fight. So if at any time throughout the fight, the duration, full duration of all rounds, he gets counted out 3 times. Upon necessity, he gets full 3 counts. Literally, when he gets to count 8, if he's willing to be able to continue, and the referee sees that he can, he'll allow him to continue. If the referee feels that he has to give him a 4th count, punch over. 1, safety rule. Pro-ams versus pros. And I want to elaborate on the Super Am Pro League. That is a 1-year probation, which is specific for that exactly. So at the end of the year, the fighters that are going to join LFS now, and are going to be part of this process, will have the opportunity to make a choice. Become professional, or go back to amateur, and not continue with the competition. Very much so. And that is the perfect, that's when we talk about development. So you allow that space for the fighter, the athlete, to find his feet.
From a sports management perspective, can you, I mean, first and foremost, this is a phenomenal concept. Being the first mover and the first shaker at something is very, very exciting. But from a sports management perspective, in terms of the athlete, you spoke of the movement from amateur to professional and that thing. How does that affect, say, an athlete in terms of the remuneration, salary? Are they getting salaries to participate in the leagues? How does that work? Is this the sponsorship that's behind this, I guess, the brands that are represented there? Is that what drives the league? Is that how it's working? I mean, is it like a soccer professional versus soccer amateur? You're an amateur, so you don't get anything. You win money when you fight, or, you know, it's part of TV rights. I mean, how does that all work?
Who currently has professional fighters, and who are professional fighters? Can you put up your hand? Are you able to make a 9 to 5 earning per day as a professional fighter currently? Is that enough? I see your head shake. So currently, there are some professional fighters, there are professional arenas, there are some fantastic professional arenas. But currently, as a professional fighter, you can call yourself pro because you're earning purse money, and that's really the difference. You're not getting a medal or a trophy. South Africa is still behind in that factor, worldwide. For example, you've got 4 Muay Thai, 5 Muay Thai fighters. Yeah. When they fight at the amateur world champs, they fight and compete against professional stock all over the world. Uzbekistan, all professional fighters. What am I saying professional? They earn their living fighting. They start at 12 and 14. That's not us. In that case, it's actually good that it's not us, because you don't want them to start that early. But the main thing and the question to be answered is, at this point in time, LFS is creating an opportunity to point the compass the way you're asking, which is that athletes in professional fighting will make an income, will make a career, through endorsements, through remuneration, Now, it's not a reality. But he has an opportunity to point it that way.
Well, I guess further to that question, then is a suggestion. If we open it up now to the rest of the corporate community to get involved in terms of trying to make this, because this is great, this is a great concept, to make a, to get everyone else involved so that we can at least get these fighters to, maybe set the stage for a new kind of development of the sport. Do you want to do that? It's a suggestion.
I think it's a great suggestion. I think that answering the question coming from Mario is that we're giving these fighters that platform to expose themselves on. The reality show is one of those things, DVD is another, and obviously exposing them to media is another aspect. Corporates want to back things that make sense for their brand. Obviously, taking mixed martial arts fighting, it's not for everybody. It's more for energy drinks and risque type brands. But there are brands out there wanting to support the sport. So yes, we do want to give these fighters an opportunity to have a career out of this. And I definitely think that we will give them an opportunity in the near future. This is the first stage concept of what LFS is about. The prize money is one of the things that we're showcasing to say that there's nothing like this in South Africa. For a fighter to win this tournament, he would have to go probably do 4 or 5 tournaments in EFC to achieve that goal. That's a whole year of tournaments. What does a fighter do besides that? He has to earn an income. And it's obviously quite difficult because of the training aspect behind, the time-consuming aspects behind an athlete of this nature. You can't have a 9 to 5. So it is very difficult for South Africans as a whole in this sort of sport. And I think what I'm really trying to do is expose it and bring out the big corporates. That's where I come in. And that's why I say we're going to give you guys a show. You're going to look at the events at the Dome. There's going to be large corporates involved. There's going to be artists involved. We're giving you guys Las Vegas in South Africa. Like I say, first of its kind, never seen before. And it's something we want to do just to showcase what this is really all about. EFC's done a great job in South Africa. I think they're a great platform for what they present. We're exposing that to another level. I think they're 20% of where we go. So, and that's not a copy statement. That's saying we're giving you guys a show business, and we're trying to expose it so that we can get the money to roll in for these guys to earn income. It's really about the fighters, guys. At the end of the day, they don't deliver, we don't have anything. So, on the international platform, we all know where South Africa features. We know where to be seen yet. But that's only because the money's not there. You look at all these other territories in the world, and it's based on money. Whether these guys can get skilled from young age, whether they can have some of the best traders in the world, and that's something that, again, we want to do. And it's going to take time, much like development of all sports in South Africa, it's going to take time. But it's going to take somebody to take that time in the corporate world to expose these guys. Because where does the money lie? It's in corporate. So that's where we come from. Karen.
Are there packages available? Like, for instance, I'm a sports business. Are there packages available for our companies to get involved in, let's say, TV rights, SCEs there? There's packages that we can buy, advertising space?
100%. So like I said to you guys, this came onto my table about a year and a half ago, came onto my table about 2 months ago. So I sanctioned and gave it the nod and gave the money to expose us on obviously a reality show perspective and as a platform. Darius and his team have been putting a lot of work into it up until now, and it got to a certain stage where I was comfortable to back it. From a corporate perspective, we have to take the right sort of calls on these investments, and we definitely see this as a global play. That's why we're getting involved. We all know there's no money in South Africa for these type of things, but I think with enough backing of the right person, we can make that exposed. We already have some large interests from major corporations, from our corporate contacts, and it just takes the time of obviously exposing. My announcement in half an hour's time is going to show you why, and why we will be putting that corporate exposure into it. And once we get the big guys to back it, there are a lot of names we're dealing with right now that will obviously ring some bells as to their involvement in other fat fight platforms in South Africa. But we're going one step beyond that. So it's really just enticing in front of the right people and making those calls. And we've done that already. So once that happens, all your fighters will have the opportunity to be either sponsored by these guys, or we'll be able to put packages together much like UFC done as well, and sanction these fighters to represent South Africa on a bigger platform. And ultimately, we definitely think that's going to happen in any sense. So, the fighters that win this main prize money, they're going to be well taken care of for a year. But at the same token, we want to secure these guys going into the African Championships and the Global Championships. So that answers your question.
So just to your question, I'm happy to meet with you after. Thank you very much. Just send me the details. We've created various marketing opportunities that we submit specific to wider audiences. So it's a pleasure we'd like to chat with you. From a different, bigger business perspective, at this point in time, like you said, EFC's done fantastically well in terms of taking combat sports to the next level. I mean, judo, karate, all that kind of stuff, wrestling in South Africa, all problematic for guys that started there at a young age and aren't getting any exposure. You obviously have the business strategies in place to take on MMA global, because that's ultimately who you're taking on. I mean, 1FC, UFC, you're looking at World Series of Fighting, EFC South Africa, those are all global. Every single South African prize fighter here is using those platforms to get international exposure. I mean, all the internationals are coming to EFC to get exposed internationally to be able to get into UFC, because that's where the road goes. I mean, you guys have got a hell of a journey ahead of you. You've got to break through that wall, and then you've got to knock MMA per se off its pedestal. With one entrenched in Asia, UFC entrenched across North America, South America, arguably Europe. Geez, you guys are going to have long pockets and very long hands.
So I think long pockets is not the problem, but touching on that, my business strategy in life is very simple. Where there's a Burger King, there's a McDonald's. Yeah, the competition is healthy. We need it. Fortunately, UFC hasn't got that, in my opinion. Wrestling is its own sanctioning body, and boxing has its own. And like I said, we're inviting all forms of mixed martial arts to form. Look at the McGregor and Mayweather talk at the moment. Everybody's on about it. It's huge. I mean, there's so much money being thrown in it, and that's exactly what we're doing. So it didn't come out of that because it's 2 years ago, and I wish that conversation had 2 years ago, but that's where we're really coming from. We would like to expose all these different mixed martial arts, including boxing, is going to be involved in this in the future. And that's really taking who is the ultimate fighter in the world. And everybody sitting around this who's loved fighting from a young age has always asked those magic questions. Is Van Damme going to kick Rocky's ass? Who knows? It's fucking acting. But, that's kind of like the idea. So we really obviously have a huge task ahead of us. You're 100% correct. I've made some really bold statements in my press sort of review earlier. And I think we're willing to back it up from a corporate perspective. For me, it's business 101. It's what we do well. We do it well on an international platform. It's about opening up the right doors. It's about opening up those channels to get that exposure. And I definitely think that it's something we're able to do. It's not going to happen in 1 year. It's not going to happen in 2 years. But it's definitely something we want to make huge waves. And let's see where this journey takes us. I can't promise any succession of any business I go into. All I can say is we're giving it everything we've got from a South African perspective. It comes back to the support, what we get. And the cry out from South Africa is this is ours, proudly South African. And where do we go from here is exactly what I said before. We've got to open up some huge doors internationally. And it's only through what we're about to do. Hence, when I announce in half an hour what we've done, it's about that exposure. It's about getting the right people involved in the right places. And that's really where the noise is going to start, from our point of view. We have to be broadcast in America. We have to be broadcast internationally. That's the only way you get anything exposed. Most people know me from the show for Clifton Shores. And I did that right from the point I've got American people involved. And that's the only way South Africa gets exposed on a global platform is by getting international guys involved in their platforms. So that's kind of like the magic ingredients for me, and it's kind of the thing I'm always going to follow. And let's see where it leads us in the future.
Is it international judges or local judges? Because some of these South Africans must go back to school.
I like you, French already.
No, I'm serious. Because some of these fighters fight their heart out. They get robbed so bad. And then what happens to them? They must go back to school.
Like you,
All these,
you fight.
Thank you, coach.
I agree with you. They're going to be local judges, absolutely. This phase one, absolutely. Phase two, who knows what will be brought in. But as far as the schooling is concerned, absolutely important. That's why we're going down, personally. There's Shiapat Kani from the kickboxing. Patrice Kutsia also from the MMA, the representative directors of the blocks, myself, ensuring that the judges understand really what. Well, number one, we encourage seasoned judges. You just said there aren't seasoned judges, but there are some. But very much schooling has to be given to one. Well, the differences between this arena and what exists elsewhere. So that has been taken into account, and absolutely. And when we were discussing it earlier and I was explaining it, it has to be a process which is strong in education, in development, but also flexible enough to continuously evolve. And that's really the key word in what we do and how we're going to do it. So it's not rigid and it cannot change. No, it can change as long as it favors evolution.
Just from an actual fighter standpoint, so are you guys contracting fighters for one fight, and if they get knocked out, they end the contract, or will they be signed to long-term contracts? And obviously, the risk of that would be, like you said earlier, some organizations contract guys for 3-4 years, and then they sit on the bench and they don't do anything. Is it a long-term contract where you're going to be building? Because the last thing you also want to do is build a profile, build an athlete, and they use you as a stepping stone to jump back into an MMA organization. How's that going to work?
We'll make sure that fighters follow up on the application to the fights. They have to look at how and when we'll still see where project development or platform development. But however, we want to make sure that we do not prevent fighters from fighting. That's what we're there for. From earning money, that's what all of us do as professionals, and from developing the brand. So we'll make sure that whatever the program they signed up for, they will follow up on the commitment. However, we'll also make sure that we do not prevent them from being passionate.
So something like being able to compete in another organization for one fight contracts would still be allowed.
Yeah, we're allowed. I think the idea is coming back to the prize money. So we're a fight platform, and that's kind of we're not an UFC. I'm going to say that again. Where they contract their fighters in and they're obligated to fight only for UFC. That's where we spoke about earlier. The blockages that have been happening is that it's politics, it's monopoly, it's only those fighters, whoever they're sucking up to, I don't know, but that's kind of the problem. And we're obviously hoping that based on our prize money, based on what we're going to expose these fighters on, they're going to flock to us and say, you know what, this is better interest for them to have one fight, one knockout, and have enough money for the year to survive. This is the first LFS in South Africa, and the second one is probably going to be a lot bigger than this. I'll come back to the big corporate buy-ins, which we're busy with at the moment, and prize money is going to escalate a lot more than this year.
So I think the fact that you're allowed to fight in other organizations in between makes a really difference.
It's their livelihood. We can't stop them from doing that, and I think that's.
So I just want to elaborate on that. Besides letting guys fight, what is important, we would like to see our fighters, not our fighters, but generally fighters, to gain experience from other platforms and to mix it in. So that, in my opinion, if I let Leo go and fight UFC, for example, after that fight, we're going to bring that extra experience to our platform and therefore create more interest with the public and obviously amongst the fighters. Thank you, Leo.
Just from a media perspective, just a question to you. So from an ETV perspective, you had WWE, been very successful for you, probably one of the most watched franchises on E. You had UFC, lost it, now got it back, and based on the latest viewership that we see, that's sort of moved it down. Now you're bringing on LFS. Is this a simple case of hedging your bets so that you actually have the entire fight market covered? Pretty soon, I'm looking forward to seeing sort of the Karate Kid episode 65. What's the strategy behind literally cornering the entire combat sport market?
The strategy is very simple. Is that we look at a concept, and if the concept speaks to us, it speaks to the brand ETV, we take it on. We're not necessarily looking specifically at that one TPAC that we have to be, and the next jiu-jitsu we have to show. It's not about that. We look at the concept, this is a fantastic concept. It makes sense for us in terms of taking different martial arts disciplines, put it on some reality, as the first of its kind. And as I said before, the channel is known for innovating, taking on a little bit of risk, but that's what we're known for sometimes. We take a little bit of risk, but we think this is definitely all pan out well. And it did well on paper, the trailer looks fantastic. The kind of concept that Michael and the rest of his team are coming up with are really excellent. The big surprise that's coming on, it's really, really exciting. So when you look at all of these things in terms of entertainment for the masses out there, and I know the guys at the technical stuff, it's all great, but in terms of the wider audience out there, if we look at that, will people be intrigued and interested? And we've got to be entertained by this. We think so, and that's what we achieve brought to the concept.
Depends how well this is going. Okay, we might be renegotiating just now.
It's just from a follow-up perspective, it's just be very interesting to understand 3 months down the line.
We'll definitely give it to you.
No, sure.
Today, yeah.
I know you will, but just down the line, 3 months down the line, it's very interesting to start seeing what the viewership is looking like in competition with the likes of the delayed broadcast of EFC. Because at some point, you guys are going to obviously have to make some sort of decision to focus on one rather than the other.
Listen, to your point, and I think you're drawing parallels because of fighting. You're not drawing parallels based on the concept. EFC, tournament based, one weekend, boom. WWE, a lot of high entertainment, Hollywood based, absolutely spot on. Viewership figures still going through the roof. And considering that ETV showed over 3 days in a week, tells you that there is appetite for this kind of content. We need to separate what last fighter standing is, because whilst we talk about fighting and the disciplines and all the structures, it's a reality show. Let's never forget that. The first show that's in actual fact going to track, follow, get to know the fighters, be part of it, build communities around the fighters, and all the support structures. The key thing for us is, Last Fighter Standing lives in a digital platform. So television is a catalyst for us to start getting public to connect with us. What we want to do is then take the public and then put them into our community. So any fighter sitting here who knows his worth will start building the block through us. Become the human interface rather than, oh, I really don't know that guy. So we can build fighter profiles, but when the public start going, I really like him, or I don't like him, we will build opportunity for fighters. So LFS not just is about ring craft, bringing disciplines together. We're going to give fighters the opportunity to market themselves through LFS. That's a really key component. But to your question, Quentin said it earlier, competition's healthy, but we are not a one event opportunity. There's going to be the constant build. So to give you a prime example, when LFS finishes on ETV, 15th of October, we carry on marketing for the next tournament. With the intention being, anything you need to know, come and join us online. So yes, draw the parallels, absolutely, but respect that this is highly different to the other guys. So I think they are cornering the whole market, to your point, but just on 3 different platforms, actually.
To touch on that, we're a reality show, so EFC is not a reality show. So we build up to the main event, which is fantastic, and trying to get that viewership audience to engage might be a different audience to what EFC is used to. So
do you have enough women in the women's division?
We have equal amount of divisions, weight divisions, as I mentioned earlier. Sorry, Barbados. We leverage off the equality element. So there's 6 weight divisions for men and women. And you raised a very good question, are there enough girls? We are developing the sport. So we have created an allowance for all weight divisions. There's 6 weight divisions for men, 6 weight divisions for women. This year we're showcasing 3 men's weight divisions and 1 weight division for girls, just because there's simply not enough female fighters. Going forward, we're hoping and we believe we will achieve that, where all 6 weight divisions in both genders will be filled to the max, creating idols.
Question?
Selection process. The whole credibility thing that will bring merit to this is the caliber of fighter. How is the selection process being done so that the audience can got to rely on, number one, the spirit of the game. I don't think if there's any coach or manager here that he's going to put the undergrad fight in. It carries his name, carries his signature. So you're going to put your best fighter. But we've added something else, which is the Master Pro Commission is involved in the licensing of the LFS Super and Pro division. So we've done Durban's guys. Tonight we've still got some of those fighters to license. And that's what we see if they meet our minimum requirements of combat. Not only in attack, but the defense as well. So they can hold up the fight. So they can hold up and once again, we're back at the word, develop. The viewing of martial arts as a sport and an entertainment arena.
Any critical fighter will be under a contract with some federation. What is the restrictions for them participating in an event outside of that sanctioned body?
All fighters have to be master registered. We will not entertain any fighter that is outside a master registration. And when I want to say that, I want to elaborate. So, it's not mastered directly, it's mastered indirectly through a kickboxing gym, through an MMA gym, through a Muay Thai gym that is registered to master. So those are the only ones we want to look at. And we've spoken about the liberty to fight in between, fight anywhere you want to, and so forth. True. However, that's where management of fighters come in. Because there has to be convalescence periods taken into account. You're not fighting on Saturday, you won, and therefore you think you didn't get concussed. And now on Friday or Saturday, you're fighting an LFS. Not at all. So there's going to be transparency, so that if you are not being managed properly, and you're not managing yourself, then the rules, the regulations, we, Master Pro Commission, will help you manage yourself, because you won't be able to fight. You know, as fighters, a fighter's a unique kind of guy. Unique athlete. The more scars he has, the tougher he is. And the tougher he thinks he is. So it's very much like a kitchen knife. You know, you use it to screw the screw that's stuck in the door. You use it to spread peanut butter on bread. You use it for anything at the table at Sunday lunch. It is an all-round tool, absolutely. We don't sit and pose. It's a doing game. We understand. But at the same time, and I say it, and I have said it in coaching of fighters before, and the coaches I've influenced is, if we as fighters want to be taken seriously, we got to take ourselves seriously. So Friday night at the club brawling, when you're fighting on Saturday morning, let's go. You're going to have to start looking at yourself in the mirror and realizing that you're showcasing yourself. You have to look after the product. You are the product. Do you understand? Yes.
Just for example, an EFC fighter, a registered EFC fighter, does that organization have no problem with their top class competing in your event?
All right. You would have to ask the FC then. But however, I'm going to help you with what I think the question is. This is about development. This is about showcasing, identifying new talent. So we are not allowing, and when I say we, the suggestion was mine, the regulation was ours, but we all agreed to, is that we will not allow any contestant that is ranked in the top 3 contenders of EFC for the last 3 years to take part in this year one. Does that answer your question?
I'm just hearing from the side that there's no way for what happens in case that guy be persecuted
One or two of their fighters have come to us already.
Yeah, that's right. However, as long as they're not in the top 3 contenders in any way category for the last 3 years, they're covered.
Some of the stand-up guys use boxing gloves, amateur MMA uses amateur gloves and shin pads, pro MMA uses MMA gloves. What are you going to be using for Alfred?
6 ounce glove, standard. All round fighting glove. People striking, people grappling, people takedown.
follow-up question, just in terms of, you've spoken a lot about Master Pro Commission. Is that a separate entity to Master that is being set up to facilitate LFS? Because I've never heard of the Master Pro Commission before. And how does that fit in? And were they responsible for putting the resets together?
Right. They are a subsidiary committee to Master, so directly in line with it. It was brought into scope the last AGM, where I was nominated the chairperson. Why? Because fighting in South Africa is becoming professional. Because professional fighting in South Africa is becoming entertaining. So there has to be some scope. Mars has to start looking at and how to accommodate, but how to regulate, and has to have people in place that understand the game, all angles of the game. So the Pro Commission was instituted. LFS, it was just a timeless thing. That happened to be the first thing on our agenda. We've got a lot of things on our agenda. LFS is just one of them.
You said it was going to be a reality program, and you guys would be staying with certain of the fighters in the hotel. Will they be paid for their time that you with them, and how do you decide which fighters you actually going to spend time with and do that?
Certainly, I think when one looks at a reality show and you look at the concept, we're looking for the personalities, colourful characters, but notwithstanding, we also want to follow the journey of the loser. Because I think in part of what we are doing is showcasing the sport. And just the pain, the suffering, the glory, as well as the sweat that goes into it. Personalities start arriving through a very simple process. We get X amount of people entering on a given day. We know that we're going to be filming all of them. Our young, lovely lady up there, in actual fact, will be back ending all their stories. At the end of the day, we can only, just to give you a secret, we film them on the day. We then stay a couple of days afterwards, and we back end stories. So if we see a fighter's losing, colourful, prepared to put up and go for it, we'll know that that'll be somebody that gets picked up a little bit higher. It's like in life. Those that kind of just blend, we'll miss it. There's no doubt about it. We could never get to everybody. But those fighters that are really standing up, have got a voice, are prepared to step into the front, those are the guys we're looking for, because that makes for interesting television. So, but again, I say, it's not always just about the winner. We want to track the other guys. As part of the process of being entered into a competition where you stand to win potentially R250,000, in all theory, that should be the big enough carrot. But again, I go back to this, and this is coaches, managers, trainers, to your point. This is the first platform where fighters have the opportunity to build a brand. So in a marketing concept, that's incredibly important that fighters will be given the opportunity, A, to win huge money, B, to see themselves on television, but more importantly, to build the brand. Because we know part of fighting and the growth of the sport in South Africa is about marketing. How do we get it in? How do we get more guys like Quentin in and start supporting the process? So to your point, yes, we will follow and track who we can. Those that shine, we will be following them undoubtedly. But remember, some of these fighters already have history. So we know the bad boys are. So yes, it won't be anything other than on the day, what does he look like? What is he doing? So to fighters, don't go there and be great. We don't want great people. We want people that are prepared to stand up and make noise. Thank you.
So they should be going for active fighters.
Okay, so to your point, sir, in actual fact, no. What this reality show is about is to really just get into who these people are. But yes, to your point, we would like some actors along the way. And I think that's going to be the exciting news that Quentin's going to be discussing with you in the next minute. We've got it done.
Okay, so we need to take a 15-minute break. Can I please ask that you're back at 11? We have more exciting news, and I think you guys are going to love it.
Can I just say something to that point? You better be back at 11.
You better be.
You see who's sitting here.
Thank you. We're going to check it out. You said it's just dead. Is it too loud? Is it too loud?
Yeah. Can I just leave this here? Yeah, you
Sorry. So you just need to make sure that it's actually coming out.
Cool, you find Chris?
Everything
Can
okay?
we just get shots of the guys when they're sitting down and taking?
Ons is dit lê. Hulle dink dit vir ons is tyd so 8 desibels afbring. Dis net die ou wat laaste gepraat het, is nog
He also starred in big name productions such as Kill Bill, Batman, and his recent film Never Back Down. There is a trailer for his new movie with the premiere of 7th of June in Los Angeles.
Why'd you walk away from the game? Just didn't want it anymore. I'm burning out here. I just signed with Prime Mortal Combat. Did a free show. Bunch of loaded up fighters with damn near no rules. You gotta come with me, Case. I only train for this fight. Alright, man? Every day you're stepping around here and booting, another day you're not on top. UFC is proud to announce a title fight between these two titans of MMA. Who the hell are you? I'm the guy Brody asked to fly halfway around the world to help him train for this fight. New school versus the old school. I've been having this vision. I've been having this vision. Breaking out of these walls. Busting out of this prison. You know why you know I'm on a mission. Bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body back. I'm about to kill him. Deliver them to the mortician. This guy's a disruptive presence to the camp. He's unstoppable. What's his way? No way I can't do business with something like that. What about all that karate code of honor you're always talking about? Jonesy's out after suffering a knee injury in training. This fight's gonna happen. Who's fighting Braga? You are. Come on, old school, let's do this. You wanted a shot? That's your shot. He thinks I'm Rampage Jackson, doesn't he?
No, who thinks you are too like Ricky Jr.? You're your next number.
Big plan, man.
Okay, so now some fairly big news, and without further ado, I'd like to present Michael J. White.
Mike, can you hear us?
What's that?
You can hear us?
Very little.
Very little. We're going to try to get a microphone closer. It's Michael from South Africa. How are you keeping?
Nah, you sound like you're very far away.
Is this better?
Yes, much better.
Hi, it's Michael from South Africa. Good to see you again. How are you keeping?
I'm good.
Excellent. We've just shown your trailer, and to great applause, we can't wait for your movie.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Michael, I'm sure there are quite a few questions that some people would like to ask, but first of all, just to let you know, Quentin is sitting here on my left. Absolute privilege and honor. We are very excited at having you join our project. He read out a little bit earlier on all the accolades, the amount of belts, and all the disciplines and styles you fought with. So for us in South Africa, this is an enormous coup, and I have the television channel sitting next to me as well. We cannot tell you how excited we are and can't wait to see you get off that plane.
I look forward to meeting you all.
Anybody want to ask any questions out here?
When does he get here?
So the question to ask, we know it's about 2 a.m. there, so we understand you're taking a bit of problems, and I hope you've had a lot of coffee.
I'm fine, it's okay.
The question that was asked was, when do you get here? Michael will be arriving pretty much in the early part of July, and then we will be with us until the end at the final event. So a lot of time spent in South Africa with him, fantastic time to have. You can hear us, Michael?
Yes, I can.
So just in our conversation a couple of nights ago, there was quite a bit of excitement on your part, and I don't think people realized, and I would not want to put words in your mouth, just if you could just tell us a little bit what it was like when you started out in the fighting, and you mentioned some things to me as a child, how difficult it was actually.
Well, I think martial arts is
something that really I owe a lot to, and I consider it a lifesaver for me. So, I mean, the discipline I learned in martial arts, I apply to every aspect of my life. I was on my own from the age of 14, and competing in martial arts, got me off the streets, and I became a teacher very early. And so the competing and the striving to for a healthy lifestyle and learning all different types of arts, that's really something that I kind of devoted a lot of my life to. So I feel really I feel really good celebrating where it's going now with this mixed martial art thing, and how really how it could change people's lives as it did mine.
Thank you, Michael. That's just really insightful. Something Michael told me was that he's so desperate to come to South Africa and wrestle a lion. Am I right?
I may do that at the end of the trip.
No, please do, because we don't have to patch you up during the show. But Michael, then again, from everybody here in the auditorium, I know you can't see us at the moment, but there's a lot of people here, highly excited. Great applause to know you're on board. We cannot wait to work with you. We look forward to seeing you, and again, we thank you for committing to this project, and we shall be waiting for you at the airport pretty soon.
I look forward to it. I'm looking forward to coming back to South Africa. I really enjoyed it the last time I was there.
Fantastic. Well, we'll let you go back to sleep now, considering it's 2 a.m., or otherwise go for a run. And again, we look forward to seeing your movie break on the screens also pretty soon in June.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you all, and I look forward to seeing you in person.
Thank you, Michael. Good night. So do me a favor. Let's just cut the press story here. Guys, think about the opportunity that exists for when you start getting people of this caliber to support us on a platform. The opportunity when a man is currently training Rampage Jackson for a huge UFC fight. So it is the real deal. It's not just posturing whilst they make movies. This also unlocks another doorway, another gateway for an international individual who's highly entrenched in the sport to support us when we start going to the US markets.
Great, guys. Thank you once more for everything. Thanks for coming out today. If there's any more questions, it's too late. No, we look forward to seeing all of you guys at our next event in Johannesburg and show. And all the support, thank you very much for the press coming out today. And all the support. Thank you.
Just one more word, thank you to the sponsors, and thank you to this amazing team that's making this. I think it's just epic. It's going to be one epic production. I think South Africa needs new content, and this is fresh, and the viewers are going to be tuned in. And thank you so much for having me being part of this. Serious, guys. The end. Have a beautiful day. It'll be great. Thank you for coming.
The fighters